Hey everyone, it's Wulfrun again, and welcome to part 2 of my Make Millions of ISK from Mining guide. Now, if you've not seen part 1, I recommend it. Here's the link for it, and it's going to take you to the point of being able to get a miner, mine some ore, and fill up your hold, and everything you need to do with that. So check out that video first, because this one follows on straight after. So here we are, got a miner. We've got ore in that miner, we're heading back to the station, and the question is, what do you do with that ore in order to make the most money? And before I get to that, I thought I'd give you an update from my last video, and I'll just let you know that the day after making that video, my Venture 2 got pirated in the system whilst I was stupidly not watching what was going on, and got taken out, so I lost it. I had to buy another Venture 2, but happily I made tech level 6 shortly thereafter. I've taken that venture and I've ended up selling it and buying myself now a Venture 3. I don't need to go through it all, but you can just work your way through from the first video on that, just let you know by update. Equally, don't worry if you lose a venture. If you've got a venture trainer, you can replace that with an insurance chip. Thereafter, you should be making enough money that you've got enough money at any point to buy back the ship that you need to in order to get going again. You might have to do a bit of mining to get all the attachments. For example, I only had 2 of the mining lasers on this one to start with, because I was waiting for the third one to be delivered because they're none available where I was. But I just got on with a bit of mining to start with, and then quite rapidly was back into making the money. So I highly recommend the first video to get that. But the question, of course, you're all here for is, what do I do with the ore once I've got it? And effectively, there are 3 different ways of using the ore. I'm going to go through 2 of them in this video, and the third one's going to be part 3. Now, as I said in the previous video, I found X-Scoundrel's video on mining really useful, and crucially, he gives you a mining spreadsheet. Sorry, if you're going to play Eve and you want to do really well at it, you're going to have to use a bit of spreadsheets, get a bit of knowledge. You don't have to, you're just going to be more efficient and make way more money if you pay attention to various aspects of it. But effectively, we're talking about the 3 ways now I say you can make money with the ore. You can go back to the station, and you've got to make sure your station is an ITC. It's on the trade network. There's no point selling if you're an Omega clone. I haven't gone through what Alpha and Omega is, but basically if you've paid some Plex in order to be Omega in this, so you can get all the skills and everything, then you need to go back to an ITC in order to sell, because that's where you're going to get the best deal for it. So I'm going to take you through and look at what those 3 options are. So option number 1 is just selling the ore. And as you can see, the mine has come back here, fully loaded with spodumene. I'll just show you the ore. There it is, 2,812 ore fills up my miner. Well, I'm just shy of my 9,000 cubic meters, and so I'm just going to transfer that to my item hanger, and I'm just going to, for the sake of ease for this video, I'm just going to split off 1,000 ore so we can work with 1,000 because it makes it easier. So basically, you just go to do this. You can look at the market details, see what the current market is. And as you can see, we've got the market there. Someone selling not at ITCs at 500. As you're at ITC, you can probably sell for more. You've got 569, so 600. You can, sell it for about that. You can check the buy orders. Always remember, you can check the buy orders. If I take it to Jita, I can sell it for 680 and have the buy orders filled there. So that gives you an idea of how much it's worth, and I can make some decent money if I go sell, let's say 600, 600,000 for spodumene. So my full amount I can easily get, so what's that going to be? Almost 3 million. No, sorry, can't do the maths. Almost 2 million from a single trip out with venture mining spodumene. So you can sell it all that way. You can absolutely do that. You can do that with any of the ores that you want. They all sell for different amounts. Mine them, sell them. That's absolutely fine. That's one way of checking the price. I'm going to go back through pricing in more detail later on. So the second way to make money is to reprocess this into the materials you want. So let me just go check. I just need to order my hold, which you should always do yourself. Try and keep track of it. I'm not always the best. Right. So now I know when I reprocess it. And there are a whole bunch of skills to do reprocessing, and I've invested in those skills, and I will go through those skills. But firstly, just show you, I've got reprocessing efficiency of 48%. Spodumene produces titanium, pyrite, McSallion, isogen, all used in building. I hit reprocess, and it produces the ore, which you can see here. Yeah, 94,000 titanium, almost 18,000 pyrite, McSallion, and isogen, all set out there for you. Now you can sell any of those ores straight to the market, same as you'd look. Selling the minerals is just as you'd sell the ores. I can look at the market data. It's as cheap as 14, which is actually really cheap for pyrite, and up to 23 around here. If I just check out there, if I take it to any of these places, I can sell it for 24. If I can be bothered to travel with my pyrite, let's say I can't be bothered, I'm just going to see now. So I could happily put in an order, I don't know, 23, 20, yeah, 400,000 for the pyrite. And you can do that for each of them. Obviously the McSallion is going to sell for more. I know it sells generally, I can sell it for about 39 in fact at the station, but it's all to do with accessibility. People don't want to travel huge distances with these. The ores particularly, because they take up so much hold space. These do take up less hold space, so they're a bit easy to transport. But again, travel, it takes time, and therefore time equals money. So it's something to think about. Isogen starts at 100 up to 130. Yeah. So I haven't got any direct buy orders there. I'm certainly not going to sell it for one. So you can sell it that way. I made a lot of money to start with. That's how I bought my first set of ventures, by doing that. Third way is industry. Third way is using that to build using the minerals to build other things. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that, because that's going to take its own time to do, and that's something that I do want to show people. If you just quickly, I'll just show you. You can go to the industry tab. You can reverse engineer blueprints, but you need blueprints to build ships. I've got a blueprint for a Venture 2. As you can see, in fact, I've got enough here to build. I can use the minerals, and you need planetary materials. I can build a Venture 2, which I know I can sell a Venture 2 for about 3.5 million. And I think I haven't done the full maths on it. I will for the video that I'm going to make on this. I think I make about 2 million. So that's a great way of spending effectively this minerals to make even more money. But that's a whole different video, because there's a whole other issues and complexity to do with that. I'm just looking at selling the minerals. So those are the two basic ways. Now the main question you're going to have is, you're going to have to look at what skills you need in order to do that better, and also how you're going to price things. So looking at the skills, I'm going to take it into the skill tab. Reprocessing all comes under industrial technology, and we'll have talked about mining before. Check out the previous video, part 1, as to mining. But as you see, that's all to do with mining efficiency, basically doing it quicker. Hugely vital if you're going to mine it yourself. Resource reprocessing, several options here. As we've been through, there's all the different types of ores. They're all split up into different categories. So you've got common ores, you'll find in high sec space, feldspar, plagioclase, scordite. You can mine them if you want to feel totally safe. They just don't yield as much profit, anywhere near as much profit as the others. And I'll go through that and the money in the side of it. But I've leveled it up. I may not have done that because I was very quick to go to uncommon ores. And my target early on was pyro. Pyro's the C0. I can't pronounce it. Pyro. That's the most profitable. I'll show you why it's the most profitable. And so I leveled up that to give myself much better reprocessing skill and efficiency, so I can make more money. I've done that in advanced. I'm not yet. You can't see, but I'm doing something else at the moment. Taking that to level 4, so I think that was quite a lot. What I'm currently mining is spodumene, because it is hugely more profitable than anything else at the moment. Spodumene, again, I've leveled up that special ore, and I've leveled those up in both special and advanced ore. I've had the money. You guarantee you do this, you are going to have plenty of money to buy things, and open up these technologies for you to make even more money. I do a couple of mining trips a day. I can have it open to one side and make millions without difficulty at all. And that's, as I said, just a supplement to the main part of the game. Ratting, playing with the destroyers, playing with the cruisers, and doing all that. Just do a bit of this, take a bit of time to do it. You're going to make loads of money, which is fantastic. So that's effectively the skills. Just focus on doing those when you got the chance. Take it through. I haven't gone on to rare ores yet, and I haven't certainly done precious ore yet. Yeah, obviously precious ore requires tech level 7 anyway. So I haven't done the rare ores yet. I might do that if the maths works out. But at the moment, I've been pretty happy doing that. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of skills. Skills is not the only thing. You have to understand the market. You have to understand how to price it at. And that's where Scoundrel's spreadsheet, which I've linked down in the description of his video. Check out his videos. Check out his spreadsheet. I can't shout it out enough. It's absolutely fantastic. You really need it. I'm going to take you through how I use that spreadsheet in order to make sure I'm making the most bang for my buck doing this. Because sadly, Eve Echoes is just like Eve Online, hugely complex game, and lots of opportunities there. So those are the main ways you can do in reprocessing to make money. You can either just sell the ore, you can reprocess the ore, sell the minerals. You can equally, and I'm going to go into more detail, buy minerals on the market and reprocess them and sell that to make profit. But check out the spreadsheet section, which is coming next. So here we've got the spreadsheet, and at first, I admit, I found it relatively intimidating. But a lot of it, and it's hugely useful. It's enormous. I mean, you must have put the amount of work you put into this, and just offer it out to everyone who plays the game is just absolutely fantastic. That's what I recommend his channel. I recommend checking everything out. Now, so what we have here, and I'll zoom in so you can see, the first bunch of tables you don't really need to worry about too much because they're just to do with data. What you'll find here helpful down the right hand side of the security range, you'll find the various ores. The ores are separated out by the different types. So we've got common, we've got uncommon in green, and we've got the special ores here in purple. Obviously the rarer ones I'm not going to talk about at this point because we're not that far in terms of mining. And this is how he's calculated out everything that's relevant. Now, the bits that you need to fill out are here. Firstly, we have the efficiency calculator. And as you can see, I have huge efficiency and uncommon ore, 51%, whereas the starting efficiency is 30%. And I've got huge efficiency in special ore, it's 48% now. Again, the starting is 30%. So that makes a big difference. And then it's these two tables further down that are not that table there, this table here, which become relevant because one tells you the price of per ore, and one tells you how much you hold per cubic meter of your vessel, and they're relevant for two different reasons. Now, there's a table here hidden away in the middle. As you say, it says input market prices here, and you can input your market prices and change them accordingly. So Mixalian, I think, has dropped slightly, and now 39. Isogen, we got an offer to sell it at 136. Pyrite fluctuates a bit. Tritanium, I've put 3. So it basically does calculations based on this. I haven't put in prices for the last 3 because I don't really produce them. I don't sell them at this point in time. I will do in the future. And Noxium I can currently sell for 1,500, 1,200, which is absolutely fantastic. So in terms of this, now this will help you determine some important things in order to sell. Now I've had to do some additional calculations. So the first thing is price per ore. Now, this is how much you're going to get from your ore selling it if you reprocess it. So if I get 1 ore of pyro, I will make 320 on that ore. If I get 1 ore of spodumene, I'll make 767. So you can see the market price of 500, which I can put in there if I want, doesn't change anything, just reminds me what it is cheap. And so it's better for me to reprocess the ore rather than sell it. Whereas if I look at something like Veldspar in the common ores, the very top one, it's 1-to-1. I can sell the ore, I can reprocess it and sell the titanium, which they're going to pretty much net me the same. At the moment, with my skills, it's almost better always for me to reprocess. At 30%, it may not be better. So it's a good, useful reminder to check. Sometimes you might want to sell the ore and you're going to make more money that way. The important thing, though, is when you're reprocessing, is to know that you're not actually getting 787. Is that 787? Or 767? 767, for example, on spodumene. I know I'm not, because the one thing you've got to remember is you're going to pay sales tax and you're going to pay a broker's fee to sell. So I've created myself a very quick calculator to just figure it out so I know. So for example, I there have an item that cost me nothing because I mined it myself. I bring it back and I'm going to sell, let's say that I sell my isogen for 120. I actually only make 93 from that. Now, that's meant I've had to do some calculations, because if you can make a mistake here, and if you go on the market, and one of the things you could do as a reprocessor is just buy your ore on the market, reprocess it, and make the profit. Now, that can be difficult. For example, here in Pyro, you can get the market ore at 250. You might be able to get it cheaper, but let's say it's just 250 for the sake last time I looked, and I can reprocess at 320. That makes it look like I can make a profit. You cannot make a profit if you buy it at that price. I've already calculated out at my reprocessing efficiency, I actually make 247 per ore due to the sales tax and the broker's fee. These are the extra things I added in the spreadsheet just to do the calculations to figure out how I got to that. So effectively, I bought myself 500 pyro for 115,000. This is how it broke down in terms of what I got. This is what I could sell it for in terms of profit using the calculator. And so I could figure out that it's actually 247. So I know if I buy pyro on the market at 250, I am making a loss. If I'm reprocessing and selling for 320, that's the same for spodumene. If I buy it, let's say at 600, I'm making a loss because I've done my calculation and I know it's 597. Now your calculation is going to change every time your skill level goes up. Just something to bear in mind. It might just be better just to reprocess the ore that you mine and sell that. The second thing to look at here is the final table, and that's your how much ISK you get per cubic meter. Basically, it tells you which ore is the most profitable for you to target. Now, in terms of myself and my current position, spodumene, and that's why I am targeting it. That's there. If I highlight that whole row, you can see spodumene, and I will make 240 per spodumene, and I would take about 2,800. I think it's 2,815 per 100% of my venture. So I make on that 675,000 per trip, but I actually think I make more than that. But something to bear in mind. But it helps you as an easy guide reference which ores to target straight away. So I was very fast early on and targeted pyro because second best. I was making decent money from that compared to if you went and did another uncommon ore, omber. Huge difference. So that's something to bear in mind when doing it. Also, hugely bear in mind the sales tax. 15% sales tax and the broker's fee can be reduced. I think at the moment I'm paying 6.8% in the broker's fee. So that's something that you need to think about when doing it. And the other way, of course, you can make money if you have your wits about you is by effectively buying and selling the ore and all the minerals using the spreadsheet in the market. That's when you're buying them low and selling them high, just like you would in a stock market. Your spreadsheet helps you figure out the profit costs on it. It's not very easy, but you've always got to bear in mind sales tax and broker fee. So it's no good just buying it for a fraction. For example, if you bought spodumene at 500 with a view for selling it at 550, you are going to lose money. Do the calculations to make sure you know what you've got to buy it at, you know what you've got to sell it at. That's another way you can make money with it without even doing the mining if you didn't want to. If you invested heavily into the reprocessing, didn't bother with the mining, you could just buy ore, finding it where it's cheap and just reprocess it. I mine it and reprocess it because I think it yields better money in the game. So, and I'm making very good money doing it on the side of doing everything else I do in the game. The last way is to use the ore in industry, and that's going to be part 3. So give me a like, give me a subscribe, let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for sticking around this long if you stuck around for this long.